This is the Lancer Locker Show on KYNT. Now, let's talk some Mount Marty University athletics with the coaches, as well as your host and the voice of Mount Marty University athletics, Tel Tanner.
Oh, it's good to hear that intro. Thank you, Jeff, for making it. This is KYNT 102.1 FM, AM 1450, the Lancer Locker on KYNT. Oh, man, I'm happy. We are back. We are back for another season of the Lancer Locker, which means fall is here, which means football is here, athletics in general for Mount Marty University. This is the most wonderful time of the year. I say it every year. I love the end of August and throughout September. This is my favorite 30-day stretch of any time out of the year. Anyways, we are back. We are ready to roll with some fall athletics on the Lancer Locker. And as you probably guessed, because we do it every year, we're starting the show this year in 2025-26 season with John Michaletti, the head coach of the Mount Marty University football team. John Michaletti had him in a little earlier today. It's mission day for Mount Marty University, so these guys are out all in the community all day. Scheduling is a little difficult after certain times, so we had to get him in early, got it in and done, and we spent about 30 minutes total talking with both John Michaletti and one of his senior captains in tight end James Brinsley. And you probably recognize the James Brinsley name if you've been a fan of Lancer football for a couple years, but tight end might be something you don't associate with him, as he was a starting safety for the Lancers a few years ago. Safety out of high school, came in and was recruited as a safety, came into Mount Marty University, and ended up transitioning to tight end in the middle of last season after the injury to the All-American tight end in Rex Ryken. He ended up doing some pretty good things for the Lancers in that spot last year, and now has really taken over the helm as the starting tight end for this team. That is going to be the first part of the Lancer Locker, is sitting down and talking with James Brinsley up next. Once again, we talked with him a little earlier today, but that senior out of Texas, going to be talking with him next. For now, though, let's go through our regular week in review and things upcoming for Mount Marty University. The football team has their first game on Saturday, 1 o'clock over in Dubuque, Iowa. That'll be August 30th for Clark once again. And then some of the other sports going on, the cross-country programs, they're going to start their season next Friday. Not this upcoming Friday, next Friday, September 5th at the Augustana Twilight up in Sioux Falls for both men's and women's cross-country teams. For the golf teams, they actually started today, 10 a.m. here in Yankton for the Mount Marty University Invitational. They golfed throughout the day, and they will be golfing again tomorrow. I think they did Fox Run today and Hillcrest tomorrow, I think is the way it's working. But we're going to have all of the results of that from day one tomorrow morning on KYNT's Totally Yankton with Jeff Erickson. And then obviously we'll have all of the Tuesday results Wednesday morning as well. And then let's go through volleyball and soccer. Mount Marty volleyball had a pretty good weekend. They started their season this weekend with 4 matches, and they won 3 of them. So they went 3-4. That's pretty good. And they were at the Blue Angel Bash in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now, it all began on Friday. The Lancers won 6 out of 7 sets in this tournament. They defeated another team named Mount Marty. It was Mount Marty versus Mount Marty, which was kind of interesting. 3-1, and then Michigan Dearborn 3-0. The next day, they came back and played Mount Marty again, Mount Marty playing Mount Marty, and the Lancers swept both of those 3-0 in the second game, 3-1 in the first game. MMU's lone loss of the weekend came to the 4th match of the weekend to St. Mary of the Woods, 3-0. For the Lancers, it was Caitlin Gunther who led over the 4-match stretch, recording team highs in kills with 32 and blocks with 12. Brianna Even set up the attack with 62 assists over the weekend. The Lancers are back on the road next weekend for a set of 4 games over 2 days in Iowa. Mount Marty is going to face Clark and Southwestern on Friday before taking on Graceland and William Penn on Saturday. And with that, let's go through something else that's kind of fun. It's not necessarily Mount Marty, but it is Mount Marty athletes. 3 members of the Yankton Lakers amateur baseball team were named Class A All-Tournament Team honorees at the South Dakota Amateur Baseball State Tournament. Now, for Yankton, it was Will Rao, Shugo Kondo, and Lucas Kampshoff, who are all playing on the 2025 Lancer baseball team. Kondo and Rao just graduated. And then also Jeremiah Mao, a former Mount Marty athlete, was also selected for his contributions to the state runner-up team in Renner. In addition to Yankton, the Freeman Black Sox had 2 players, kind of area guys going on. They were selected at the Class B level, and Bailey Sage and Jackson Fegan. They deserve a shout-out as well. But those are some baseball players that did something as baseball season's in the books. And finally, let's go to Mount Marty women's soccer to finish things up here today. Mount Marty women's soccer, they are in Madison, South Dakota today for a matchup with Dakota State. And this is actually going to be late tonight. It doesn't start until 7 o'clock in Madison versus Dakota State University. So that has not happened yet. We have no results, but Mount Marty women's soccer, they are 0-1 to start the season. They did fall to Benedictine College last Thursday, 3-0, looking to get that win over Dakota State here in about an hour and a half, a little less. All right, that'll do for our week in review of Lancer Athletics. We're going to take a break now, and we're going to come back with the Mount Marty football team. John Michaletti around the corner. He's a little later. We talked all about this program with the head coach and a bunch of those new faces you're going to see this year. But first things first, one of their senior captains in James Brinsley. He's up next. You're listening to the Lancer Locker on KYNT.
Aztec has some hot job openings right now. Aztec in Yankton is now seeking employees for all shifts for the following positions: welder, industrial painter, and machine operator. A career at Aztec offers competitive pay, 10 paid holidays, incredible 401k, paid parental leave, safety incentives, and sign-on bonus for production workers. To apply for these jobs or see what other opportunities are available, go to aztecjobs.com. Aztec, built to connect from rock to road.
If you want a job where your work matters, you belong at Avera. Here, we've invested in our workforce because every Avera team member drives our health ministry forward, making a difference in lives and communities every day. We offer competitive pay, great health insurance, and even career opportunities. We're putting people first, including you. Search for local job openings and apply at avera.org/careers.
Meet the drink that's as bold as its name. John Daly Vodka Tea. Smooth vodka, real brewed iced tea, and just the right splash of lemon come together for legendary refreshment in a can. Perfect for the lake, the golf course, tailgates, or wherever your day takes you. When you want bold flavor that's easy to grab and enjoy, grab a 4-pack of John Daly Vodka Tea. Crack it open, kick back, and sip like a legend.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. CoreTrust helps your business thrive with checking, online bill pay, small business loans, credit card processing, local approval and support for government grants and loans, investments to grow your hard-earned assets, and insurance to protect them. All from CoreTrust, the community bank that's right down the street and everywhere you want us to be. Visit CoreTrustBank.com today.
Member FDIC.
Beef, pork, seafood, poultry, and more, all at the Meat Lodge in Yankton. Get top quality meats at great prices. They have specialty items like lamb, brisket, bison, mahi-mahi, crab legs, and lobster. They even have non-meat options like Dimmick cheese, pickled items, seasonings, and sauces. The Meat Lodge in Yankton on the way to the lake on Highway 52. For more, call 689-3000 or go to themeatlodge.com.
The thought of moving can be overwhelming. This is Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and with 20 years of experience, I know how to make the process less stressful. The market is just heating up, so if you're thinking of buying or selling, call me and we'll talk about the whole process. And when you're ready, I'll guide you every step of the way. Call me, Deb Speck, with Vision Real Estate, 605-664-5555.
All right, back here on the Lancer Locker, first one of the year, so we had to have a couple special guys in from the Mount Marty University football program. James Brinsley, one of their seniors out of Texas, now in the booth joining me. It's the first time we've been able to have you in this booth, but I've had the pleasure of talking to you a couple of times over the years. Thanks for coming in today and joining the Lancer Locker.
Well, thanks for having me.
First things first, can you tell me a little bit about your family and everybody who's maybe listening?
Yes, sir. I'm lucky enough to live with both of my parents. They're down in Texas right now. I got an older sister, a younger brother, and a younger sister as well.
Well, let's talk about you and Mount Marty in general. So you've now been here for a couple years. You're a senior, and you have bounced around position-wise, my guy. You have just been all over the field, both offense and defense in different places, but you seem to have settled on now the starting tight end for this team. What's your journey been like here at Mount Marty?
Yes, sir. Well, I came out of high school as a safety and decided safety was probably the way to go. When I came up here 2 seasons ago, I played in that boundary safety position. We call it the rover. Stuck with that for another year after that, and then whenever Rex Reichen went down, I asked the coaches if I can go help the team anywhere else, wherever it needed to be, and we settled on tight end, and I've been trying to learn the offense a little bit more and use my abilities best I can to help the team.
So something you said there, was that you that initiated that conversation that first day after Rex went down last year? For those of you who remember, Rex goes down with an injury, they're All-American tight end, and you went to the coaches and said, hey, I know we need a guy. If you need me, that's me.
Yes, sir.
Wow. So what did that first conversation with the coaches kind of look like when their safety came up and said, hey, if you needed me to play tight end, I can do it?
I think it was pretty good. It was with this conversation with Coach Mick, and I just knew we needed depth in more places. We had a lot of depth at safety. We had a lot of guys. Arthur Oliver is a great player, one of the most athletic guys I've ever played with, and I knew we needed more depth in that tight end position, so I asked if that would be a good idea.
So let's talk about the transition. Before last year, had you ever played tight end before?
I had not, but all throughout my life I was a quarterback, so I knew offense pretty well, and I think in an offensive mindset it helped me a lot at safety, being able to know what an offense is trying to do. So the transition was it was definitely different, but luckily enough we have great coaching staff that explained things very well to me, and I was able to pick it up pretty quickly.
So going forward to this year now, you're going into week 1 or week 0 or whatever it is, I guess, as the team's number 1 option at the tight end spot. Do you feel comfortable yet?
Yes, sir. I feel super comfortable. Great group of guys around me that makes my job a lot easier. And just try to help other receivers get open, try to block for the quarterback, try to block for the running back, try to help the team the best I can. But we have a great group of guys on the offensive side of the ball that do everything for each other. Do your 1/11th is something that Coach Mick always talks about, and we're all doing our job. Things go out pretty well.
So talking to you here for a couple minutes, I'm starting to see why. But you were named a captain this year. What did that mean to you?
It meant a lot. I love this team. This team was a huge deal for me whenever I joined the team. It helped me out, and I was in a very dark place whenever I came here, and it helped me out so much. So to be able to be given that opportunity to lead them in a way that I think that they should be led, and they given me the opportunity to, that vote of confidence was huge for me.
Let's talk a little bit off the field now. Get to know you a little bit more as a person rather than just an athlete. You're here in school. You're a senior, about to graduate in December, correct?
Yes, sir.
What's your major?
I major in accounting.
So I assume you're trying to be accountant after just December.
Yes, sir.
So you got a plan then? You're about to graduate and go into the world. You're about to be done with college football. What's your plan?
I'm planning on moving back down to Texas and going for my graduate degree, and while doing that, I have a love for golf, so I'm going to try to get my golf pro card and be able to teach and work in a pro shop somewhere while I'm getting my graduate degree and figuring out my career.
You a good golfer?
I don't think anyone's a good golfer. If you don't get paid for it, then you're not the best.
No kidding. I've noticed in golf is, with the Mount Marty football team specifically, a lot of golfers on this team. Do you guys go out as a group quite a bit with you and some of the other football golfers?
Definitely. Me and a lot of guys will go out there. It's a great way to just get outside and get moving in a different way than we're used to, and great way to loosen up.
A little bit of friendly competition between teammates.
Oh, very competitive out there.
Who's the best golfer on the football team?
On the football team?
You can say you now.
I think it's probably between Rugby Reichen or me. So
okay, there you go. There you go. I'd like to see the 1v1 there. Just do one hole for it all. All right, man. So once again, going back to after college, we're starting to see that after come into play as you're now in your final semester. Has it set in yet that this is it? This is your last season?
I don't think it has. I got a long time coming up until the season's over. I'm trying to focus on where my feet are right now and just get through practice one day at a time.
Well, I'll tell you what, goals for this season, if you have any, not only for yourself but for your team, what would they be?
Just leave the program better than I found it. The program's grown a lot every single year, going from 3 wins to 6 wins, and just more establishing a culture that breeds championships, not just some place where you can have fun and play football for the glory. Place that you can go to and become a man whenever you leave.
And do you have any message for your family or Lancer fans in general as we start off this season?
Just thank you for the support. I mean, it's awesome when we go out there for games. We have so many fans that come out. My family tries to make a whole bunch of the games, and the support just makes it definitely just the cherry on top of being able to play college football.
Well, James, I appreciate your time for coming in and talking with me today. I certainly see why your program wanted to make you a captain. You got a good head on your shoulders, and I look forward to seeing what you do after college, man.
Thank you very much.
This is the Lancer Locker here on KYNT. We're going to take a closer look at the program itself with the head coach, John Michaletti, coming up next. This is KYNT.
Craving a sip of sunshine? Meet Surfside, iced tea, green tea, or lemonade. Real flavor, real juice mixed with vodka, but only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and absolutely 0 bubbles. Whether you're into peach tea, mango green tea, or strawberry lemonade, Surfside brings the party, smart and smooth. It's like sunshine in a can with adult approval. Must be 21 or older. Surfside, 0 bubbles, all vibes.
Hey, son, can you hand me that vice grip?
As any farmer or rancher knows, having the right tools in the toolbox is important. That goes for your ag lending as well. If you're considering expansion, restructuring debt, or purchasing equipment, call Dakota Mac. We have a toolbox full of lending solutions to help you with your ag financing needs.
Hi, it's Jeff Wolfgram from Dakota Mac. Call us at 800-682-4578 to learn how Dakota Mac products can work for you.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance.
For coverage you can count on, call Brendan Hansen or Brandon Tykro in Yankton today.
Looking for fuel or more? Stop by Triple Time Rudy's, your locally owned convenience store at 17th and Broadway. At Triple Time Rudy's, they're proud to support the community, offering fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers and backing local activities and events. Inside, you'll discover regional favorites like Dimmock cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. Whether it's a quick snack, a tank of top-quality fuel, or a taste of local goodness, Triple Time Rudy's, fueling your day, fueling the community.
When it's time to celebrate, Pizza Ranch is ready. This is Mike with the Yankton Pizza Ranch. We've got plenty of room and plenty of food on our buffet for everyone, loaded with pizzas, desserts, and the country's best chicken. Everyone leaves a winner, so make it a buffet day at Pizza Ranch of Yankton, available every day from 11 to 8.
It's where life tastes better. Surround 'em up and head her down to the Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
All right, we are back here on the Lancer Locker on KYNT. It's 102.1 FM, AM 1450. We're going to spend a couple minutes now and talk with the head coach of the Mount Marty Lancer football program in John Michaletti. John, going into year 5 now with the Mount Marty Lancers. Take me back to 5 years ago when you're going into this very first season to where we are now as a program. Tell me the differences that instantly come to mind.
Oh, I had more hair then. That's probably the first thing that I can remember. No, but it's just great to, the staff has stuck together mostly throughout that whole time, and that's one thing that we've kind of talked about is, seeing how the team has progressed, seeing how our day-to-day agenda has changed a little bit, and how the focus on, where we need to be at and where we need to go has changed. So it's been definitely a fun process, been a fun 5 years so far, but very eager and excited to get into this next year.
So we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to get to all of it. We got to go through coaches, players, obviously Clark University coming up on Saturday, the differences in the years in general. But let's start it off with you here as we get started in the season. Can you tell me a little about your family and how that has grown over the last couple of years? 'Cause, man, it's grown.
Oh, yeah. We actually just moved at the end of spring ball last year, so getting comfortable at our new house. My oldest son, just started second grade here at Lincoln Elementary, and then the 2 younger ones are now in Trailhead Learning out there. So they're both in preschool, 3-year-old and 4-year-old preschool out there. So we got our hands full, kind of running all the way around town all the time with their half days and things like that. But it's definitely fun and definitely been rewarding.
Your wife sick of the late nights yet?
Not yet. She loves it. She's a number one fan of Lancer football, and she's the kind of the one driving the van to all the games. She'll be driving to Dubuque with the family. So
nice. Yep. I love that. All right, let's go over the team in general. So last year, first winning record in program history. As a coach, obviously, you had told me at the end of the season you were still a little disappointed because you wanted more than that. You wanted more than just 6 wins. It's been a full year yet. I know you're focused on this year, but can you tell me how proud you are of what you did last year?
Yeah, definitely proud of the guys and what they were able to do. I still got a sour taste in my mouth that part hasn't changed. You know, so competitive and ready to go into this next game week. So, but definitely looking at what those guys built and kind of what James references, leaving the program better than you found it. That was one thing I thought that group did, obviously, and it's the pleasure of moving that on to that next group of seniors now. Hey, it's your turn to move this golden standard up even higher than it's been before. So very excited to see what this group can do.
I don't think anyone would dispute that group of seniors last year left the program better. Can you tell me about this group of seniors? Who are some of the guys that are really going to be stepping up?
Yeah, you talked with James Brinsley a little bit, and he's been a guy that can relate with a lot of the guys on the team because he's been in one of those roles, whether it's offense, defense, special teams, starter, backup. He's done it all. And he's even been that kid that transferred in here. So it wasn't his first stop. It was his second stop, and refining the love for football again and all that, so he can help those guys that have definitely going through those homesicknesses and stuff like that. But moving throughout some of those other guys, Jose Garcia is another senior captain. He's another guy that transferred in a year ago that has his wife and kids here. Is an older guy that took a little break from college to prioritize his family, but is getting back into it and definitely provides a fatherly or big brother figure, I should say, for the team. His buddy that he ended up bringing over, DJ Brown, is another senior. He's the guy that'll speak up if something isn't right. He has no problem addressing any issue at any time. Sometimes we got to make sure that comes across positively, but definitely a guy that helps with leadership, and it's hard to do as a kid that's coming in to play only 1 year. He's came in as a senior transfer. Asmaran Muhammad is a guy that has played quite a bit, and definitely is a lead by example guy. I'm going to outwork people. I'm not going to talk too much and just keep my nose to the grindstone. So, but yeah, there's a lot of good group of seniors and the leadership group. Our leadership group is made up of every position. They have at least one representative, and then every class as well. So even the freshmen have a representative in that, and that's Hunter Lotek from Wagner, South Dakota, unbelievable kid, and that's probably the hardest one to choose because you know the least about those freshmen. And throughout the recruiting process and some of those summer weightlifting sessions and things like that, we got to know him pretty well, and he's done a great job of being that freshman leader so far.
So when we talk about the growth of the program, one of the ways that it is just off the charts, you're able to see it, literally see it, is the coaching staff. When you take a look at the sheer numbers of guys you have coaching this team. Go back to 5 years ago, going into the inaugural season, you had, 5 coaches on the roster total? What do you got this year, 18, 19?
Yep. If you want to count the strength staff as well, which we do because those guys are the head coaches of our football program in the offseason, But a great job by our athletic director, Andy Bernardo, giving us the support that we need to kind of operate and keeping good guys around. We had 3 great GAs last year that are going into their second year this year, and Coach Guest, Coach Sorensen, and Coach Ludeman. And so usually you can't hire new GAs until those guys are all the way through. But, having Coach Perkins now, they call him Big P, and Coach Klein and Coach Lambeth, knowing that those guys were such good leaders when they were here and good examples, be able to keep them around and get those guys started a little bit early, allowed the staff to grow. And then Coach Reichen wanted to be able to stick around and being able to help out when he can. And Coach Norman, same way, and Coach Fitzgerald as well. So a lot of those names that a lot of the fans have heard for some time are sticking around Lancer football. And that's what makes me proud of this program because they feel ownership within it as well. and a sense of pride that they want to make sure that they can still help Lancer football in the best way they can.
Some of those names, if you missed them, Jacob Lambeth, Tyrell Klein, Patrick Perkins, Rex Reichen, Dalen Norman, Trevor Fitzgerald, all players the last couple of years, now coaches for this staff. What do you think it tells about the program that so many former players just want to stay involved with this program as long as they can and are now helping out coaching?
Yeah, I think it's a good example of what Yankton is. There's a lot of people that show pride within their town, within their football within this town, and that bleeds in all of us as well. Even the people that aren't from Yankton originally, they want to continuously make the program better, raise the golden standard, and be able to put the best foot forward. So my goal is to make sure creating better people and creating them for their next thing. And if it ends up returning back to us and they help coaching as well, making the program better, it's a win-win for me.
All right, Coach, let's get to the thing I think everybody's been waiting for us to talk about, and that is the new faces on this team on the field this year, because, man, there's a lot. We graduated 35 seniors last year, which is, first of all, that's an insane number, and kudos to you for the retention. But you got to replace those guys all on the field. This is going to be a new-look Lancers team this year. What can you tell me, just overall thoughts of how this team has come together? Yeah,
very well. I think the first spot you look at, and to me, two areas where you judge a culture of a football team when you're able to look at a team on a Saturday afternoon is the offensive line and how well they click together. And I think Coach Wiebelhaus has done an outstanding job. You have Graybo, who's played quite a bit, Gove, who got his feet wet a little bit last year as a freshman, and then Desmond Taylor, who's getting ready to head into his junior year. Played quite a bit last year, and then we had Beef, good old Nick Bunkers coming back after taking a year off. So there are some guys that have some snaps, but those guys buying in and showing their love for each other and commitment to the program has really started to lead our team and our offense. And then the other part that really judges the culture, I think, is special teams, because that is a hodgepodge of offensive, defensive guys. It's guys that may not be the best guy at throwing the ball or catching the ball or something like that, but they're willing to do whatever they can for the team. And if it's taking on a double team so somebody else can make a play, that's what's asked, and that's what they're able to do. So Coach Zook has taken over our special teams and has done a great job with that, and you can see the culture and the want to out there on our special teams groups.
Let's talk a little more about each kind of position. We'll start it on offense, as you just talked about the offensive line so in depth there. So we know about them, and we also know two other very key positions. You know your quarterback, and you know your running backs. Rugby Reichen returns, Malachi Harsh, and Kyle Hirsch both returning this year. That is three key guys that are all going to be back, Coach.
Yeah, a lot of production with those three guys. Obviously, Rugby doing an unbelievable job of leading our offense on third down conversions last year. We were number one in the nation on third down, which is a big part. One of our things that we talk about in our 7 commandments is winning third downs on offense and defense. So, but he's going to keep every play alive, being able to lead by being a competitor and things like that. And then you look at Kyle Hirsch and Malachi Hartz are a great 1-2 punch at running back. So definitely excited to see those guys lead, and then kind of bleeding the other guys, which are the receivers and our tight end, which Rodney Broadnax has played quite a bit, and he's back and looking better than ever, healthy. I mean, he had a great off season. He put on some good weight and is running faster than ever. James Brinsley has done an outstanding job in being a great mind of football, understanding where voids are and things like that in the pass game, and being able to help and block on the edges is just like you saw our tight ends do in the years past. So then you have a bunch of other guys that'll be cycling in there. You got Jackson Walholtz, Jacob Carbajal, Coven Wadier, Zoan Robinson, Tyan Buss, Drushan Phillips. So we got a very talented receiving core, and definitely not knocking the guys before, because the Trevor Fitzgeralds and the Trey Hansons did a lot of good stuff for some time. But there's this group I'm very excited about on the edge there for our offense that can kind of provide some different looks and some different styles there to help complement the offense.
We're going to see that offense in action this Saturday, Coach, and I'm excited for it. See the new faces, especially that offensive line. You had the same offensive line for about 4 years straight. Now, brand new faces, and that's going to be fun to see.
Yep, love the guys up front.
So before we go to the defense, I got to ask you, though, the 7 commandments of Lancer football you just mentioned. What are the 7 commandments of Lancer football?
God, you're going to put me on the spot here. I usually have to use my cheat sheet. But going through, being the tougher football team, being the most fundamentally sound, win the kicking game, play with superior effort, stop the run, and then make sure we run the ball. Those kind of go or half and half. Third down, as I mentioned. Turnovers, did I say turnovers already? No, turnovers and big plays.
Yeah.
So making sure that offense, we try to create big plays. Obviously, defense, trying to manage the big plays. So,
well, those are 7 pretty key factors to winning a football game. So I got you. Well done. So let's go now to the defensive side of things. Let's start it off up front, where once again you graduated a lot of dudes in your front. So tell me about those big guys.
Yeah. Once again, everything kind of starts up front. So Bryson Mitchell. A kid from Sioux Falls, Lincoln, was a very talented freshman. I think he had 2 defensive touchdowns on JV last year. Incredible athlete. He's pretty good on the basketball court, good baseball player, all this stuff when you see him kind of mess around. But his sister actually married Marcus Janofin. So, yeah, kind of keeping it within the Lancer family. But Gavion Rogers started to play quite a bit last year after Cam Middleton went down. He'll be at that stand-up rush linebacker opposite of Bryson. As I mentioned, Jose Garcia will be on the interior D-line. Lane Ferguson's played quite a bit the last few years. He's an interior D-lineman. DJ Brown was that other guy I mentioned as a senior transfer coming in that is very disruptive on the inside and very good-looking kid. He's exactly what you kind of think of when you think of a 3-tech or 4-eye, some of those guys that are playing inside. The D-line, Delonte Dickey, forgot about him. He's another guy transferred in from Nebraska Kearney. Very good strength, good get-off, things like that. That'll provide some issues there for the offensive lines when we go against them. So I'm definitely glad another offensive line is going to have to block those guys instead of our guys doing it for spring ball and then also fall camp.
No kidding. That'll be nice. Linebackers now, another position group where you lost a lot, but I know you've had a couple of guys just kind of working while they waited. They've been in the program. They just haven't had a chance to start because there's been a senior over them.
Exactly.
So tell me through the linebackers.
A couple of those names that you might have heard of before. Brock Lubers, a kid out of Harrisburg, is going to be replacing Josh Pickthorne there at our stud backer. Has played quite a bit for us, done an excellent job. Very high academic student. If he's not a 4.0, he's right there next to it. So, and his family's got a very good pizza joint up in Sioux Falls. Isaac Crownover, a guy that has made a huge impact on the team with the limited snaps that he has played. Been a big special teams guy, but he's been taken over at that will, our weak side outside linebacker. And then our Mike backer will be either Damian Baldwin, another Harrisburg kid that's played quite a bit, or Cole Cripps, which is a transfer from Arkansas Monticello. Very good kid. He actually lives with James Brinsley, so done a great job of kind of mingling with the team as a transfer, getting to know everybody and things like that. And then Sam Driver, another transfer from Iowa Central. Bryce Crawl, freshman from Yankton, has done an outstanding job of picking up the defense, which isn't easy to do as a freshman. Carter Randall, another kid from McCook Montrose here in South Dakota, are a lot of guys that we'll see at those linebacker spots.
Nice. And finish it up with your DBs, where we do know that there are a couple of guys coming back, so that's got to be nice, and Muhammad and Arthur Oliver and people like that. But can you tell me some of the other guys?
So as you mentioned, AZ or Asmara Muhammad, Arthur Oliver will 2 guys be back. Devin Mays played a little bit. He'll be another corner. Amir Conley's back. He's a guy that graduated but ended up having an extra semester, so he was able to come back to use his eligibility. And then a free safety, Daniel Pierce, transfer from Harding. Very, very good safety. He's tall, lengthy, very smart, makes all our checks. He's the guy that kind of replaced that Gabe Baptista from last year. But then you also have another familiar last name but a different first name in Trevor Lambeth, so that's Coach Lambeth's younger brother, and then Tyree Shorter as well, kid that played a little bit for us last year as well. So those will mainly be the defensive backs that we'll be seeing this year.
All right, with that in the books now, that's all the personnel, some of the new faces you're going to see. You can obviously tune into KYNT on Saturday versus Clark. So let's talk about Clark, Coach. Last year, Clark University goes 1-10 overall. They did go 0-6 in their conference. They did have one similar opponent to your two, actually, if you count your non-conference game versus Culver Stockton. They lost both of those, one to Midland 45-7 down in Fremont, and then to Culver Stockton 38-21. But last year's last year. This year's a different year. What can you tell me about Clark and how you're preparing for them?
Yeah, they're almost a complete different team. You know, they had a huge recruiting class, brought in quite a bit of transfers, and a lot of the key pieces that they needed to stay have stayed. You know, so they're building, and they're very athletic. That's the number one thing when we show on their tape. Like, they are fast. You know, so being able to slow them down a little bit, cause a little bit of confusion when we can, and things like that will be the main part. But with it being the first game, we really got to make sure we concentrate on ourselves. You know, making sure that we don't shoot ourselves in the foot. There's no dumb penalties. We can't be a lack of attention, not being able to pick up a formation or a signal that we got. Take care of the ball, and obviously then we'll tie into those 7 commandments that we talked about is kind of our main focus going into Clark. You know, there's enough obstacles with an overnight trip and later farther travel and things like that. But to be a little bit selfish, this game is really special to me because it's very close to my hometown. You know, so I get to actually have my family come to a game. So that's awesome. And some of the guys that I played with are texting me, say, hey, I'm going to come up there and check you out. So you better put on a show.
There's going to be a whole fan section just for the head coach right behind the Lancer stands. That's going to be great.
Yes, sir.
I really hope they have one of those signs, just a massive sign with your face on it.
I got a big enough head. Just make it a life-size one. It might block out the sun. So
we'll play in the shade.
Exactly.
Oh, man. All right, that's pretty good. So let's talk leaving Clark, leaving Dubuque, Iowa. What needs to happen in this game for you to walk away from that and say, we're ready for GPAC play? Obviously, win. We know that one. But what else needs to happen for you to say, all right, we're ready for the GPAC next week?
Yep. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but making sure that we take care of the ball offensively, making sure we finish blocks. I want to make sure we altogether we play 4 quarters. That was one thing that we kind of picked and choose last year what games we wanted to play a whole game and what games we can kind of lighten up. And we want to make sure that we create good habits for the GPAC. You know, we understand we have a veteran team, you know, that has been around in the schedule and seen the gauntlet of it all. But you got to understand that we can't allow one game to create bad habits moving forward. You know, so understanding that we are going to play one play at a time, you know, one step at a time, and let the score kind of sort itself out after there. But making sure that whatever 11 guys are on the field are representing Lancer football in the right way.
Roll through the schedule real quick. Clark University this weekend, Saturday, 1 o'clock once again. Then you've got a late afternoon game next week at Waldorf over in Forest City at 5 o'clock. Home opener, 1 o'clock versus Northwestern on the 13th. And then the Catholic Cup versus Briar Cliff, 6 o'clock on the 20th. That's a fun 4 games. Concordia, Doane, Dort the next 3. Hastings, Lancer Days will be October 25th this year. Dakota Wesleyan, November 1st. That's going to be your Dakota Railroad rivalry and Parents' Night. And then 2 games on the road to finish up the season. Saying this for the Lancer fans. Obviously, Coach, you know your own schedule. But when it comes to the season as a whole, team goals for 2025.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be a broken record again, saying the same things.
You know, making sure that we continuously raise the golden standard. You know, I don't think it's right to say I want this many wins or anything like that, you know, but if you can go in each week and have the mindset of I want to go 1-0 this week, like I said, it'll end pretty good. So making sure that we continuously grow these guys as men, continuously come together, building trust, love, and commitment to the program.
Coach Michaletti, I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming in and talking with me, as you always do. And I look forward to seeing you throughout the season. Good luck to start it off over in Dubuque.
Appreciate it, Tel. Glad that football is officially back.
Those are the sounds of loyal companions looking for a new home and family. The Heartland Humane Society has dogs and cats looking to become a new member of your family, ready for adoption today. Every animal available for adoption is vaccinated, spayed or neutered, microchipped, and dewormed, saving you over $200 or more in vet care while giving you a loyal friend. Come visit all available animals at 3400 East Highway 50 Yankton or online at heartlandhumanesociety.net.
Looking for a job that works for you? Join our team at Parker of Yankton. We're hiring second shift assemblers and other positions, offering competitive wages, a night shift pay differential, great health insurance, paid time off, and retirement benefits that help secure your future. Enjoy steady hours, a supportive team, and opportunities to advance. Whether you're building your skills or bringing years of experience, you'll find a place where you can grow and succeed. Apply today and start enjoying the benefits you deserve.
Parker, engineering your success.
Slumberland Furniture is your local destination for top brands like Lazy Boy, Ashley, Flex Steel, Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and more. Carrying a full range of mattresses and furniture for every room in your home, you'll find styles you'll love at values that make sense. From everyday essentials to name brand comfort, Slumberland offers the selection, and their service goes the extra mile. Visit Slumberland Furniture, 2401 Broadway in Yankton, where helping you create a comfortable home is what they do best.
Runza's grilled chicken sandwiches bring the flavor.
Yeah, but which one's the best?
That's not a fair question.
Barbecue's got Swiss cheese and that sweet smoky sauce.
But the smothered's a whole mood. Swiss cheese, mushrooms, grilled onions.
Then there's the classic, simple tomato, lettuce, and mayo. Perfect. You're right. It's impossible to pick.
Try Runza's grilled chicken sandwiches. 100% white meat chicken, however you like it. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Sherco, the industry leader in tarping, has done it again with the release of the all-new Sherlock E-Series electric tarp. The E-Series features fully assembled front and rear arms, a pre-wired sealed control box, and Sherco's exclusive SmartWire sealed harness for quick and easy installation. Operate the E-Series with the SureLink EZR remote or by your smartphone using the SureLink app. Add more time to your day with the Sherlock E-Series. To learn more, contact your authorized Sherco distributor or find us at Sherco.com. Demand the best. Demand Sherco.
All right, back here on the Lancer Locker, finishing things up on this Monday evening in Yankton. I'm Tell. Thank you for tuning in to the Lancer Locker. We're going to make it quick here because we're way over time. But thanks to John Michaletti and James Brinsley for coming in and talking with me earlier today, taking time out of Mission Day to come in and talk with me here. Mission Day for Mount Marty, all these athletes, all these students in general, we're out in the community all day long trying to make a difference and help out, which is a pretty special thing that I like that Mount Marty does. I really like that they do that every year. Anyways, Mount Marty football once again in action this upcoming weekend, Saturday, 1 o'clock over in Dubuque, Iowa. Steve Toome and myself, Tel Tanner, will be there for that call. As per usual, I've still yet to miss a single down of Lancer football. I have been there on the mic calling every single down of Lancer football since its inception, since it's only 5 years old, and I'm really looking forward to year 5. That program made some incredible strides the last couple of years, and I'm looking forward to this upcoming year. We're going to go live at noon right here on KYNT. You can also simulcast it on YouTube, KYN-TV. Clark University, Saturday, 1 o'clock. All right, that'll do for the Lancer Locker today. Thank y'all for tuning in. We will be back next week with more coaches for fall athletics. We're still going to speak with head coach across country at some point. We're going to do volleyball, soccer, golf, everything in between before we get to those winter sports a little later. All right, thank you for listening in. I'm Tell. This has been the Lancer Locker.